Opa, salve guys, como estão? Levinovisk aqui, trazendo pra vocês em primeira mão aí, mano, a minha reação da trailer de revelação aí do multiplayer do Call of Duty Vanguard, rapaziada. Eu vou trazer o Call of Duty Vanguard aqui pro canal como um dos jogos foco. Então se você gosta de Call of Duty, mano, confere aí no meu canal, tem vários vídeos aí na playlist. Eu tô jogando muito Cold War recentemente e eu peguei meu primeiro nuclear também, vai estar o vídeo aí, tudo na descrição aí, beleza? Vamos curtir que eu vou botar o som aqui, vamos conferir essa Vanguard aqui, ó, Call of Duty Vanguard World Wild Multiplayer Review. Então vamos ver aqui, ó, 0. Começou, vambora. A gente vai assistir direto, depois eu vou fazer comentários, vambora. Bonito. Aham. Eita, preula. O avião já perdeu ali, mano. Bom, não vou comentar, vou comentar agora, mas...
The time is finally here. Welcome to the multiplayer reveal for Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm Greg Reisdorf, the multiplayer creative director at Sledgehammer Games. At Reveal, we saw the rise of Special Forces team, and now we've had our first technical test of Vanguard out in the wild, the Champion Hill Alpha. Our team is hyper-focused on key data points coming out of that test, and thank you for all the valuable feedback. Today, we will show you our vision of the multiplayer experience for Call of Duty Vanguard. On our last project, we brought the Brotherhood of World War II soldiers to life in a more traditional approach, which was a great experience.
Foi da hora mesmo,
we're taking liberties and risks to deliver something completely fresh, new, and fun. But first, let's watch the world premiere of Call of Duty Vanguard Multiplayer. Ok, vamos ver, rapaziada, multiplayer! Vambora!
Ah, espero que seja bom, mano. Espero que seja muito bom.
Warriors, saboteurs, assassins, their lives turned upside down by the right.
Ué, não! Como assim?
Each one with an axe to grind, and when we turn them loose, you better believe they're coming out swinging.
Que isso, mano. Ok, gameplay agora, gameplay. Go, go, go! Quero ver o HUD, mano. Estourou ali com a 12. Ó, execução. Ixi, trouxe um dronezinho pra batalha, mano. What the fuck? Um tanquezinho de guerra pra explodir. Ó, deixa esse R, mano. Será que vai ter War esse Call of Duty aí, mano? Nossa, muito sangue voando, mano. Eita, prula. Tá quebrando tudo a casa, hein, mano. A sniper, nossa, eu quero muito dar quick scope. Tá, vai ter o esquema aí da sirininha, né, mano? Isso é muito da hora. 20 mapas. Ok, logo de cara vai ter 20 mapas. Legal. Acho que é o Destruction. Olha, mano. Match Level to Customization. Global Operators. Ok. Olha o Juggernaut. Nossa, não gosto desse cara, mano. Bicho explodiu. Call of Duty Vanguard. Pô, mas eu queria ver HUD, queria ver gameplay. Vai ter? Por favor, tenha. Ah, tem mais, calma. Ó, até agora eu gostei, música bacana, tomara que... Legal. Vocês viram isso, né? Vocês viram essa ilha aparecendo, isso aí é a nova ilha do Warzone.
Such amazing work that the team's been able to do, and we're thrilled to have that trailer out in the wild. Our multiplayer team is putting players in the shoes of a globally diverse cast.
Okay.
We focused on special forces operators that are untraditional, gritty anti-heroes from every front of the war. We've also focused on our down-the-barrel experience to bring you brute force weaponry that devastates your enemies and world around you. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting down with some of my colleagues I haven't seen in over a year, and some folks that I've never met before in real life. Our conversations today will be broken down into 4 different sections. We're going to talk about our day 1 offering for multiplayer. We're going to go in depth into gameplay. We're going to talk to our art directors about Vanguard's unique look and take on World War II. We're going to talk to our narrative team about how they brought our operators to life. And we have some special guests from Beanox and Raven. Plus, following the stream, we've invited some of your favorite creators to play Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer, so stick around, we're just getting started.
Ok, estamos só começando, rapaz. Então vamos lá, conferir todo esse evento tutorial aí. Revelação do multijogador, Day 1.
Well, let's talk about some multiplayer.
Sounds good.
So we have 20 total maps in the game.
We do.
16 of them that are working with core, and they're across all locations in their Western Front, Eastern Front, North Africa, as well as the Pacific.
And then the 4 maps that comprise Champion Hill, which is Airstrip, Market, Courtyard, and Train Yard.
I do love how we have found this fresh approach to World War II. We really wanted this time to focus on a global warfare and variety of settings.
And when you think about the player experience too, let's say you finish a match on Gavutu and you just came from the Pacific Theater, and then the next map that loads up is Desert Siege, and now you're in North Africa. So you're just hopping all over the globe.
So we just finished up Alpha. That was the first technical test of Vanguard. And starting today, you can preload for the beta, which has Champion Hill that everybody can now experience, as well as 4 new maps.
Yeah, that's what I'm super excited about. It's Core MP for the first time, so it's Red Star, Hotel Royale, Gavutu, and Eagle's Nest.
I cannot wait to see all of those players in there.
Isso, falou que ia ver os caras sangrando.
And then we also have combat pacing. So you can now experience this huge range from tactical combat all the way up to blitz combat across those modes that are in the beta. It's such a different experience between when you're playing with blitz and tactical as well, because when you're playing blitz, it's just no holds barred, you're going. Tactical, it's a lower player count, so we're actually increasing the time to engagement in there, and every shot matters. You're able to play with it in the filter system, so within quick match play, you're able to be like, oh, I prefer tactical.
I'm gonna be doing blitz. I remember when we were just first talking about it, the idea of making every map into shipment. I love that.
But having a map the size of Red Star feel like shipment, if you're having that level of combat pacing, is what's really fun, because it's different map by map.
It's so much fun to just go in and you're not even worried when you're getting killed, because you just get killed and respawn and kill someone else constantly. It's amazing.
We also have Patrol coming in as well. It's a new mode for Vanguard.
It's really fun. I'm really excited to see how fans respond.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
It's essentially the moving hard point that's moving around the map on this track. You're going and you're taking it, and as people play it more and more and discover new strategies around it, like there's play the patrol point, hold it down for your team, but that patrol point is moving no matter how many people from your team are on it. So if you're truly, you know, playing as a team, you're gonna have people behind the patrol point, in front of it, really locking down those lanes. That mode is bringing so much more than we've ever had, and you're also exploring the entire map.
Ok. É o modo aí que você tem que meio que escoltar.
With other players in these maps, being able to go into, you know, clans. They're coming into the game, they're a tier 1 feature. You can pair up with your buddies and your friends.
We really want to lean into social play, because it does make all of your experiences on those maps and modes just so much better.
Isso é verdade, mano. Uma parada que eles falaram aí, que eles querem fortalecer o social do jogo, é porque uma coisa que não tem acontecido mais nos últimos squads, mano. Que tinha antigamente era o seguinte, você jogava... Vai sair com um pouquinho de vocês não. Você jogava no lobby, e aí você tirava a onda ou conhecia alguém do time inimigo, do mesmo time, tá ligado? E aí você meio que ficava na partida ainda pra jogar um outro mapa, tá ligado? Tinha uma opção ali de votar, tá ligado? Nos minimapas. Agora não, cara. Agora você acabou de um lobby, você sai desse lobby pra você procurar um outro lobby, tá ligado? Isso daí tirou muito social de você encontrar as pessoas e fazer amizades. Mano, eu lembro que eu tinha uns 30 amigos, mano. 30 ou mais, velho. Amigo da minha friend list lá no Play 3. Que eu jogava com todo mundo, era amigo de todo mundo, tinha comprado headset pra trocar ideia com os caras, pra trocar por mensagem, tá ligado? Ô, e aí, você joga bem, pá, joga comigo, tá ligado? E agora hoje em dia não tem mais isso, hoje em dia você entra na partida, você falar com o cara, você não adicionou ele, às vezes você perde a oportunidade de falar com o cara de novo, e nunca mais você vê, mano. Porque ele te tira do jogo e te leva pro outro modo, tá ligado? E isso daí, se eles focarem isso no social e voltar de alguma forma legal que eles fizerem isso aí, vai ser legal. Uma coisa que eu achei que eles falaram aí também, mano, foi que você vai poder procurar vários modos na hora de busca. Você pode buscar o jogo tático, o jogo assault, né, você deve ser mais luchador, ou o modo blitz, que é o modo mais frenético. Enfim.
And you need to be able to use it then for gameplay as well. It's all about that player creativity.
When you first shoot something and it reacts to it, now you start becoming a little more creative about what you want to do with that.
Tactical sprint is in the game. We have it coming back, and you can just sprint through those walls as well.
We try to give multiple options for how you want to do things, which really allows for a lot of freedom.
That's right. When you're taking cover behind something, they can also flush you out. You start seeing this stuff just start getting shredded.
You can mount on top of these surfaces as well.
I love sliding into cover and either mounting on the side, mounting on the top, blind firing over the top.
So blind fire, like let's just talk about that for a second, because blind fire is an all new addition to Vanguard. It's kind of the hip fire of mount. We actually have it set up where you can ADS and go into mount. So when you're near something, you're going to go into mount every time you do that. But if you're in cover behind it, your gun's going to come up, and now you're actually in this state where you know you can blind fire over it. You get a little peek over the piece of cover that you're on, and you're now able to move back and forth across that, fire. You get the hip fire spread, and then once you see somebody coming, you can actually go right back into mount and transition between the two, and it's so fluid.
It just feels like it was always supposed to be there.
Isso é legal. Essa é a mecânica que você atirar com um tiro aí, ó. Vocês explicaram aí, rapaziada. Você vai poder, tipo, chegar, grudar numa parede, atirar cegas, e depois mirar, ou soltar a mira e deixar tirar cegas de novo, tá ligado? Isso é legal. Tipo, você deu o dano no cara, tomou dano, você se esconde de novo, tá ligado? E vai na sorte ali de bater um tiro certo no cara, mano. Isso é legal. Isso é legal. Eles colocaram umas mecânicas legais no jogo. Quero ver como é que vai ser isso na gameplay, mano. Se os mapas vão ser legais, se vão ser bem estruturados e tudo mais. Vamos ver, mano. Eu joguei no controle e gostei do Champion Hill, né? Minhas primeiras partidas não foram tão legais, mas as outras foi legal. Vamos ver aí, mano. Vamos ver aqui mais informações, rapaziada.
We have a caliber system as well, which interacts with these destructive environments. And so you're able to now go caliber up or caliber down.
Ok, eles estão falando aí sobre... Nossa, você vai poder pôr 10 attachments na arma, você viu ali? Putz, mano, 8 eu já acho demais, mano, demais.
Increasing the caliber does increase the damage the bullet does. So we're kind of moving away from this concept of protecting rate of fire and damage. We're letting the players control it.
We have created a class in the game, and we're building on what was done in Modern Warfare 2019.
You got your primary weapon, secondary weapon,
gravando aqui reação.
lethals and tactical.
Vixe, olha os perks ali, rapaziada. Eles fizeram uma montagem tipo do...
There's so much going on in there. We have the gunsmith system coming back. We have caliber system, ammo types, 10 attachments as well that you can put on the gun.
Muda totalmente a arma, né, mano? Isso é legal. Isso a gente já tá acostumado, né, mano? Isso já tem sido feito nos últimos CODs, né, mano? Não mudou muito. Nossa, vão ter 30 e poucas armas novas. The perks.
And you can actually modify those and get some modifications around some of the other core gameplay pieces. And with these weapons and with this caliber system, there's so much in there to be able to use. We have certain perks that are dedicated to it.
Yeah, you might choose an LMG and then try to combine perks for close range to make it so much more like an SMG, but with that power and the ammo size that the LMGs are bringing. Or you may go the completely other way.
Só vai ser só 3 perks, não vai ter... Será que vai ter um sistema de especialista? O especialista do MW era da hora, mano.
Nossa,
vai ter supressão, é um bagulho que deixa o cara lento, mano.
tactical experience you've ever had in Call of Duty.
Ah, mano,
We're
acho que
trying
você
a
vai
lot of
quebrar o
risky
game, mano.
things, allowing players to tune things like damage or rate of fire, but we're committed to figuring out the right values there, making.
Olha, eu acho que isso aí não sei, mano. Esse negócio aí, tipo, ter arma que vai influenciar no player. Não sei, mano.
It is truly the most immersive Call of Duty experience I've ever played, and we're in this together. We're in it with the community. We're there getting feedback from them on all of these elements, and we want to make it the best for everyone.
Pá, a execução é da hora. Art Director in Next Gen Tech. Ok.
On this project, I feel like the collaboration between creative direction, design, and art, there was a lot more cohesion. And so we've grown together in such a way
Design
where
art.
we can have these great conversations.
It's about stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit. On the last project, we took on the brotherhood of the soldiers. It was a very traditional look at it. This game in Vanguard, it's a fresh look. We wanted something fresh.
É uma abordagem nova mesmo. Queremos chegar no anti-herói.
This time around, we kind of dug deeper and we tried to understand what the soldiers were going through, and it changes the way that they walk.
Tá, eu acho que o modo história desse jogo vai ser muito impactante, rapaziada.
And how they would stand. It had to be somebody that was real and somebody that we felt that like, I want to be that person. I want to play that person. I kind of see myself in that person. I think that was big too, right? Like.
So who's your favorite character?
When I saw Daniel Yatsu, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I want to be that character because that character kind of feels like me, you know? And I think that's huge.
É, parece com ele, mano.
I just love that our game, we're taking a character-centric approach. You actually have a roster.
Yeah, you get to learn more about them.
Yeah, it makes me want to play every character.
And they all have different looks as well, that have their personalities in them.
The character team has done a lot of great work to recreate, you know, all the materials and things like that. I mean, they dress the mannequin as the exact character, they scan it there, and then they virtualize the authentic gearing.
The same thing happens within the maps as
Insano,
well.
rapaziada.
And so we even have some maps that are actual spaces in the world.
Os espaços reais no mundo? Olha, legal, mano.
We typically start with a block mesh of a map and try to figure out how we can get photogrammetry assets to match that block mesh. We tried it the other way around on this one. And that would really capture the spatial relationships of the buildings and the road and the hedges.
You know, it feels like a real place. It also helps with the tone because when something feels more realistic, you take it more seriously. Yeah. You know, and when you want to be immersed, you don't want to be pulled out by something that feels artificial.
Isso é verdade. Quando você quer imersão, é complicado você fazer coisas artificiais, né, mano? Bom, mano.
That's in our Pacific maps.
Just speaking of simple things like foliage.
Vamos ver como é que vai ser essa beta aí, rapaziada.
Hits the leaves and then like bleeds and then shines through, makes it feel more realistic.
We've been using some new software techniques to generate simulations for really windy situations where the palm trees are colliding with each other, and it really makes the map have this energy.
Oh, isso é legal, se eles colocarem imersão no jogo, tipo, muita ventania.
Like these maps have so much weather going on, and it's been exceptional to see it in the game.
É, isso é legal, mano.
Neo-epic lenses is something we're looking at game-wide. We want to add that new, fresh, badass on top of the epic setting.
And that's something that you developed.
Yeah, with the art team, we talked about what's the thing that's going to set us apart from the previous game that we made together. And so we talked a lot about the contemporary.
Cara, eu quero ver se eles vão falar alguma coisa sobre os zombies, mano. Os zombies review, velho. É isso que eu quero ver, mano.
Neo-noir, it's a new, evolved version of film noir movies. So epic is its own.
Noir, eu não sei o que é um tipo de filme noir, mano. O que é um tipo de filme noir, mano? Comenta aí embaixo e me explica aí o que é, mano.
Epics of the past and add a neo rebirth to it. A lot of that has to do with composition of the landscape, the types of environments that we pick to play in, the palette, the color. A lot of it has to do with the tone.
The art team has done an amazing job. Just the entire team as a whole has done an amazing job making this look great.
With all the content that we had to do, we needed the rendering, we needed engineering, we needed the effects, the lighting, the whole team. We needed studio in Melbourne to get it looking super awesome in a way that we can deliver the best COD game we can do.
The best COD game. Ok, mano. Legal. Global Special Forces. Forças especiais globais.
Those characters also come over into multiplayer.
We took the personalities from our campaign and brought them to the wild, exaggerated, crazy world of MP.
Sweet revenge.
We have 12 operators at launch, 6 in the beta, all from different walks of life.
12 operadores, mano. Vão ser 12 operadores diferentes e 6 no...
Call of Duty World War II. He's back. He's got a much larger role now. We needed a character when we went to the Special Forces, the connective tissue.
Vai voltar um cara do WW2, mano. Eu já zerei o WW2, eu vou deixar o link também de eu zerando o jogo inteiro aí pra vocês na descrição, viu, rapaziada?
And he sends them into these incredibly dangerous situations.
Sometimes you need a job done. That's when you call the professionals.
So these special operation task forces that we have, the SOTFs, what are these?
That's the whole notion of multiplayer, is that this is Butcher forming these teams. You know, they
eles vão ter tipo passivo, mano, igual no BO4. No BO4 os operadores tinham habilidades, né, mano?
Elite soldiers.
So when you unlock one of these operators, you get that moment to learn more about their backstory. Melinda, do you have a favorite one of those?
I do. My favorite is for Solange, who is Dutch
Solange?
Reuben, and she was plucked from her everyday life and put into the war, and she did strategy. And I think what's interesting is with our characters, we also
Aqui você
not
12
only
personagens,
touch
mano,
on
interessante.
people who fought on the front lines, we touch on people that fought at home or were taken and not primed for war. They were just normal people that wanted to live normal lives, and then the war happened and everything changed.
Esse cara aí que é do WW2, mano, se não me engano é ele, mano.
But you can choose how it molds you.
O que mais lembra, tá ligado, do WW2.
You're selecting the character, you're in the game, you're in the action, running around.
We have a couple that are just like absolutely crazy, don't we? I think Paulina's really sinister, actually, and you get more of it. Look into her character. It almost makes you like afraid of her.
It's about immersion, about putting players in
Mano,
there.
acho que o modo história desse jogo vai estar impactante, rapaziada.
Just fantastic.
We wanted to champion a lot of the forgotten stories of the war, and a lot of them are female-led stories. There are a lot of women that had a part in the war, whether on the home fronts or on the battlefield.
Caramba, mano.
Created so much lore around them and their backstory and who they were as people, and also we wanted them to feel like distinct pieces on their own.
As you're randomly assigned an operator when you start the game, or you can now use that operator as much as you want. And then they have operator progression, which is a brand new thing where as you're leveling that operator, you're getting cosmetic rewards. They have charms that are based on their backstory.
Caramba, mano, vai ter level de operador, mano. Você vai poder maximizar o operador. Isso eu não sei se é novo no Call of Duty, porque eu desde o Ghosts, rapaziada, do MW, do Call of Duty IW, lá, Infinite Warfare, foi aquele lá todo cheio de BO3 também. Desde o BO3 eu não joguei mais, mano, tá ligado? Eu meio que dei uma afastada, assim. Joguei pouco, mas não me entreguei ao game, tá ligado? Tipo, eu joguei por umas 20 horas, 30 horas e tal. Eu voltei a pegar firme no COD desde o Cold War, praticamente. O MW eu joguei pra caramba também, o Warzone eu joguei pra caramba também, mas o Cold War foi o que eu joguei, que eu jogo até hoje, né, mano? Voltei, tá ligado? Cheguei, tô de volta no Call of Duty, me apaixonei novamente, tá ligado? Cold War me fez, nossa, amazing.
They're all fictional characters grounded in World War II, but they are based on real people and real groups that did fight in the war. Another thing with campaign is the character you're playing as. We don't want them to talk too much to sort of allow the player to live the fantasy. So in multiplayer, we get to actually make them talk, and you can hear them talk more.
Didn't think I'd come back.
That brings me back to life.
You had that coming.
It's multiplayer, it's still a game, but there's so much history there, there's so much depth and richness, and you've been able to bring all of this together into this story that is quite amazing.
Hey everyone, my name is Marc-Alexandre Milo, the UI UX director at Binox, and today I'm here representing Binox, the lead PC developer for Call of Duty. And we are very excited to bring you Call of Duty Vanguard. Binox has put together a dedicated and passionate team to push the quality of the PC version each and every year. We want the game to be tailored for our PC community by supporting both the latest hardware technology and also optimizing for the best performance. With Call of Duty Vanguard, you will get the greatest features and improvements that we have built over the years, such as the uncapped frame rate, the ultra-wide and the multi-monitor support, and also a lot of settings to fully customize your experience throughout the game.
Legal, vai ter diversas
We wanted our game
customizações.
to be even more accessible. We added option to reduce motion sickness, improve text readability, and we even added adaptive ease of use settings to fit your gameplay style. We've also done a ton of work to improve input latency. By using a high-speed camera combined with an Arduino board and an NVIDIA LDAP, it's a device that measures input to photon latency. We were able to identify opportunities to improve reaction time in terms of milliseconds. We have also reworked our automated features. As you may know, we optimize all the graphic settings based on your hardware, but this time you get to choose if you prefer to have the awesome visual experience or aim for the highest frame rates. Lastly, while waiting for your friends to jump into your party or during a round transition, we added a setting that reduces the brightness of your other monitors to allow multitasking without missing any of the action. We have so much more to talk about in the upcoming months, and we can't wait for you to experience Call of
Falaram
Duty
que tem uma
Vanguard
nova configuração para quando você espera seus amigos ou quando espera começar a partida. Warzone aí, ó. O próximo capítulo de Warzone, isso aí é grande, hein? Warzone, vamos lá.
With the launch of Vanguard, we want to ensure that the feel and character of the game extends beyond the multiplayer experience and into Call of Duty Warzone.
Ok, tenho o prazer de anunciar o novo mapa do Warzone para este ano. É isso aí que eu queria ver, mano. Falei que isso aí era, eu falei.
Players will get to traverse the lush landscapes of the island and make their way through a variety of extremely cool locations while battling it out alongside friends and foes. Our goal was to create a fresh, new experience for Call of Duty players by breaking out of the war-torn world of Verdansk to create an atmosphere that is vibrant, alive, and it really opens the doors to how we can craft the narratives and events. As far as visuals and technology, Warzone Pacific will share the same tech and engine as Call of Duty Vanguard. This allows for seamless weapon integration and play balance. Fully optimized crossplay, cross-progression, and cross-gen support will be enabled so that you can play with your friends across different platforms and generations of consoles. But most importantly, we want to ensure that Warzone Pacific will be the best experience it can be. We will be launching with a multifaceted new anti-cheat system that will be rolled out with the new experience goes live later this year. We're putting it through the final paces and testing, and are excited to have it ready day one when the new Warzone experience releases. Our teams have worked hard on this and much more, and will continue to do so. We know how much it means to everyone.
Nossa,
we will
mano.
be continuing to offer a massive calendar of free
Quero saber sobre o Cold War, mano.
new modes, playlists,
New playlists,
limited time events, and seasonal events, as well as community celebrations and much more. We look forward to playing with all of you later this year when the Pacific officially comes online.
Jogabilidade pré-alpha. Caramba. Bom, rapaziada, muito obrigado por assistir. Vai, zombies, zombies, zombies. Vai.
Beta will be running over the next 2 weekends, and you can preload on PlayStation starting today. For your first look at live gameplay from Call of Duty Vanguard Core Multiplayer, tune in now to one of your favorite creators. From the entire development team around the world, thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to see you in the game.
Ooh. Beta begins this weekend. First no PlayStation, né, mano? Pô, mano, o PC, velho. Vou trazer pra vocês também, mano, que eu tenho Play aqui, ó. Play 4, aqui, ó. Vou trazer. Patrol, Kill Confirmed. Domination é da hora. Team Deathmatch. Vanguard, November 5. Ok. Bom, rapaziada, então... Starting now, a rapaziada tá jogando Call of Duty. Então a rapaziada tá jogando já. Bom, rapaziada, então acabou. Acredito que acabou. F, PlayStation 5, F, W. Acabou. Rapaziada, vocês podem ver aqui. Bom, vou só deixar passando aqui então. Deixa passando a gameplay aqui de fundo enquanto a gente troca ideia. Rapidinho aí, só pra poder finalizar. Bom, rapaziada, então eu espero que você tenha gostado desse vídeo aí. Esse foi o meu vídeo reagindo a todo o evento de anúncio, né, mano? Então eu espero que você tenha gostado do vídeo aí. Se inscreve no canal. Se você gosta de Call of Duty, mano, se inscreve aqui, velho, porque eu amo Call of Duty. Vou trazer muito conteúdo de Call of Duty. Já tem muito conteúdo de Call of Duty aqui, mano. Então eu vou deixar aqui algumas playlists aqui na descrição desse vídeo. Então você olha aí, vai estar o título dela, o que ela é, né, e o link, mano. Confere aí, velho, não custa nada, você vai me ajudar pra caramba também. Então é isso, seja bem-vindo ao canal. Eu espero que você volte aqui em breve. Valeu, falou e até o próximo vídeo. Tchau!